Kunja Bihari. Smaller one. No, where is that stand? Is there? Where's the book stand? Gopijana Valabha Girivardhari.
Jaya Gopijana Valabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya. Astotra Tatat Systema, the Divine Grace, is confounded child. Sila Abhachan Vin Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj. Jaya. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya. Astotra Tatat Systema, the Divine Grace. Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Papa Maharaj. Jaya. Ananta Koti Vaishnavin. Jaya. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur. Jaya. Prem si kahao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhara Si Vasadi Si Agora Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Sisi Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syamakunda Radha Kunda Girigabadhan Ki Jai Savindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapadam Ki Jai Sijaganapuri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Jai Samati Tulsi Devi Bhakta Devi Ki Jai Sama Veda Bhakta Vina Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Sisi Gauranga Ranga. Can you put this on? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Sakso Namalitam Jena Tasmai Siya Gurave Namaha Sachaitaya Manobhistam Safetam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swa Padantikam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Godadai Puspavanto Chitu Chandatamanda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasada Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pachatyada Sadhari Vanchakalpataribhyacha Kripasanjaya Tanam Padam Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo. So, welcome everyone. Already President has done that. Again, we'd like to reiterate that. Finding the time to come to the temple is always very enriching for the individual and for the community. And having to set up this time for your temple visit or to participate in the programs, it just shows how you value Krishna and your Krishna consciousness. Because you could have other things to do, but then you give this a priority. So thank you very much for coming to participate in this Krishna consciousness. Today, I was requested by the management to share something about Lord Nityananda, because we just had his birthday a couple of days ago. And so if I get all of your permission and your blessings, we can move on. So, Lord Nityananda is not different from Balaram. In fact, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned in Adhikanda of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adhikanda of Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned that Lord Nityananda is Balaram himself. Just like Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna, say Krishna, Navadvipe, Chaitanya Chandra. Lord Krishna had appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya. I mean, Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip. He originally appeared in Vrindavan, but he appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in a similar way, Lord Nityananda also came in company of Lord Krishna. And Lord Nityananda came as, Lord Balaram came in company of Lord Krishna, but Lord Balaram came as Lord Nityananda. So it's the same two lords, the same two personalities, personality of God. The Lord decides to take any form he so desires. And essentially we have to understand the very essence of Lord Nityananda's appearance, or the very essence of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Now, when Krishna was on the planet during his Dwaka pastimes, Narada Muni had visited Lord Krishna, and Narada seemed to be despondent. He didn't feel happy. We find sometimes the cases of the devotees or the personality of God himself as a literal incarnation of God, Krishna. Even Vyasadeva was despondent. So despondency is a common denominator in the life of the pure devotee, or even the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. But why would the Lord or the pure devotee like Narada feel despondent? Their whole life should be a radiation of joy, bliss. Why would a pure soul like Narada Muni be despondent? So, Lord Krishna observed the despondency of Narada Muni, and he asks, my dear Lord, what is going on? I observe that you're not happy. Narada said, yes, your observation is correct. I'm not happy because I have traveled all over the worlds, all over the three worlds, and I couldn't find any place where people are glorifying your holiness. So you have to do something about this. You got to do something about it. So Lord Krishna said, no problem, I'll take care of the situation. I will personally appear as a devotee. I will disguise myself as a devotee to inaugurate the chanting of my holy names. In fact, this is the pivotal motivation of the Lord coming to have his pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, but then Balaram, Lord Krishna always comes in companion, with his companion or with his brother Balaram. I will find in the Ram Leela, Lord Balaram also appeared as Lakshman. Is it working? So, another interesting factor is the Lord is supposed to be like an octet electron. Octet electron, they don't need sharing of any electron with any electron, any particle with any of the electron. They are self-satisfied, they are like Adbarams, they are self-satisfied souls. So why would the Lord need to come with a companion? For what? Does the Lord need some social? Is he a social animal? Does he need a companion? For what? For what? So, just like we want companions, where do we derive that value? We want people to be in our company. Where do we get this type of desire? So everything that we have is actually an emanation from the Lord. So the Lord also, he comes, he desires to play around. Like when he came as Krishna, he has a bunch of boyfriends, and Balaram was there with him. They were always in company playing around. So what does that tell us? Can we really be ascetics, lock up ourselves in our rooms, and do whatever we want to do without? Okay, could we be even multi-billionaires or trillionaires and be satisfied without any companion, without people around us? It's never been the case. So when Lord Chaitanya appeared, in fact, before even Lord Chaitanya appeared, there was a petition by his devotees. Advaita Acharya petitioned the Lord. But when the Lord had to come, he came always with companion. And so in the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Balaram also came as Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda took birth in a village called ISKCON. How many of you have been to ISKCON? I've been to ISKCON. Raise up your hand. Let's see. Okay. All right. It's not bad. We still have a couple of years to go. I think it's a good place to visit when you go to Mayapur. And in fact, going for holy pilgrimage is an integral aspect of devotional cultivation. We shouldn't think that. I'm okay in Boston, everything here is good, and I'm fine. That may be true, but everything is not fine regarding devotional culture in the material world. And that is why there are arrangements by the Lord for him to come to in our pastimes in particular places so that we can go and derive some devotional culturation and sustain our devotional service, sustain our enthusiasm in devotional service, or re-arouse our enthusiasm in devotional service. This is the essence of going to the holy places, because the environment impacts on our behavior. And this is not just some spiritual ideology. It is a science. In 1938, Professor Lewin, a German psychologist, developed the field theories which demonstrated that environment impacts on behavior. For instance, the temple here, the energies that you imbibe here, they're completely different from outside. And so not to speak of, you go to the main place where Lord Krishna took birth, or you go to the main place where Lord Chaitanya appeared, or you go to the place where Lord Nityananda appeared, and Lord Nityananda is the mercy incarnation of the Lord. We can't attain Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And so it is important for us to reflect on this and see how we are taking advantage of the resources, the devotional resources we have on the planet. The theaters are there, and ISKCON is one of those important theaters we think of visiting when we do go to India. Because in that very village, Lord Nityananda appeared and enacted different type of pastime. It's mentioned in the Nityananda Charitamrita by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur is no other person than Srila Vyasadeva himself. He documented the pastimes of Lord Nityananda in his earthly Leela, when he came and kept company with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda was born to two parents, mother and father. Father's name Hadai Pandit, Hadai Oja. The mother's name is Padmavati. And Lord Nityananda, he lived in that ISKCON village with his boyfriends. And in his childhood, from the age of 1 till 12, they were just involved in different type of Leela. He was enacting different type of Leela. Krishna's Leela, Ram's Leela. In different ways, he kept his friends busy. He engaged his friends. So there was one time they were playing he was playing with his boyfriends, and they enacted this lila of, the demigods assembling, and Mother Earth coming to petition Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma has to go with Mother Earth, with all of the demigods to the Milk Ocean to petition the Lord to appear. And so one of the boys, he hid in the river, and they went there, were praying, and he raised his voice that, I've heard your prayers, I will be appearing very soon. So, some of the villagers, they wondered, how this little boy, how did he get to know all of this? He's a small boy and he's enacting all this type of different pastimes of the Lord. So how did he come by this? In fact, this came to the knowledge of Lord Nityananda, and sometimes they even ask him openly, how did you come about all this pastime? You're just a small boy. How do you know all this? And he openly will admit that these are my pastimes. So sometimes we find that people get confused, they don't seem to recognize the Lord, even as when he appeared as Lord Krishna, people don't seem to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he displays some type of pastime to really bewilder the people around, and then so that they can have some deep thinking about who this personality is. And in case of Lord Nityananda, they will confront him and ask him, how did you get to know all this stuff? The answer, simple, he would admit that they were his pastimes. Now, so he enriched the lives of the inhabitants of Echo Chakra until when he attained 12 years old. And then there was a visitor, a sannyasi who visited Hadai Pandit's home. And this sannyasi's name is, yes, who can tell us? I like asking questions. Yes, who is the name of the sannyasi who visited Hadai Pandit's home? In fact, this sannyasi took Nityananda away from his parents. Who is that person? Oh. Huh? Lakshmi Pati. So, when Lakshmi Pati visited, in those days when Swamis come to visit householders, the family, they're very happy. Kali Yoga, I don't know what happens, but in those days, yeah. In Kali Yoga, it could be that, oh, he has come again. What is this? In Kali Yoga, it could be, how many days you're staying? So, so Hadai Pandit was very enthused, and they engaged this Swami talking, Hadai Pandit and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, although he was just, 12 years old at the time. But they engaged this Swami in discussing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna, virtually the whole night. And then the morning dawn, Lakshmi Pati was to leave, and he said, Hadai Pandit, can I beg you for something? He said, Maharaj, please, ask me for anything. Sometimes also our devotees, they act like this. I remember when I was younger and the time of president, sometimes the devotees come, oh, Vasudev, engage me, give me some service to do. When he has them to go clean the gutter, then they say, oh, I was just playing. So Hadai Pandit, he was not playing. He asked, he told Lakshmi Pati, ask for anything. And Lakshmi Pati threw a bombshell. Bombshell in the sense that he asked for the unaskable. But he did anyway. And he has already given his words. Ask for anything, I'll give. It's all right. I'm traveling to holy places. I feel lonely. Your boy, I love him. Not only his beauty, he's a very intelligent boy. This is good. This boy will be a good companion for me to go to the holy places, to help me. Could you let him go with me? Oh my goodness. Hadai Pandit never expected this from Lakshmi Pati, but he has given his words and he has to honor his words as a Brahmin. In those days, Brahmins honor their words. The Brahmins were filled with dignity, honest. They gave it their word. They say one thing, they follow it up. So this request was devastating to Hadai Pandit. But as a man of integrity, he couldn't say no. He rather chose to take the burden, the consequences of that offer. So he released Lord Nityananda to Hadai Pandit. So they traveled to different holy places. Lord Nityananda traveled with Hadai Pandit to different holy places for years. But this departure from home of Nityananda expedited the departure of Hadai Pandit from this planet. See, when you love somebody so much and it's not there, it could reduce your lifespan because you will be full of anxieties and depression. Depression and anxiety could help to reduce your lifespan. You want to reduce your lifespan, just have depressive feelings and be in anxiety all the time. And one day, you get a heart attack and you're gone. This was the case of Hadai Pandit. It was not a willful action, but he couldn't contain it. It's like taking his heart away from him. And a human being lives, the heart is the pivot of life. The heart pumps the blood, facilitates the blood circulation. If the heart is not there, then what's the question of human life? Lord Nityananda was the heart of Hadai Pandit. His Lakshmi Pati took him away, so he died shortly. We also find in Ram Leela similar situation. Charity to the sadhu. In those days it was so important. You give your words to the sadhu, you never retract. You follow it up. And you can't say no to the sadhu. That was the custom, that was the tradition. But it has its consequential effects on the burden of proof, on the bearer. We find this very conspicuously in the case of Hadai Pandit. He left his body within a short metacognitive time frame. He couldn't contain it, he left. But there is no loss or diminution. Lord Hadai Pandit sees Nanda Maharaj himself. He just come into enact this pastime, so what is there? But this type of leelas, for the neophyte, they may think, wow, so if I ask the Swami to come and stay with me, then will come and ask for the best, they will come and ask for my heart. And then I would die like Hadai Pandit in a short while. No. These are special cases. And the sadhu is very compassionate. Sadhu is paradukkha dukhi, most aggrieved to see the suffering of the people in the world. So the sadhu is not supposed to give anyone anxiety. You can't go and ask something from somebody that is most dear to them. And we can't also use Krishna as a smoke screen to demand, to ask for charity. But you know what? Asmin Party has to play his role. They are on a theatrical stage, the performance. The theater artists, they come on stage, they play different roles. But these are all arranged ultimately by the Supreme Personality of God. So Asmin Party took Nityananda and they traveled to different holy places. And when Lord Chaitanya appeared on the planet to start his pastimes, in other words, Lord Nityananda is older to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By how many years? By how many years? Are you sure? Which scripture says that? What did you find out? Chaitanya Bhagavad? Chaitanya Charitamrita? Which one? Which one says that? Reference. Where did you get that information? Anybody to help us? In other words, thank you, but it's not accurate. Who can help us? What is the age gap between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda?
14 years.
14 years. Are you sure? Which of these? What is your source? Chaitanya Charitamrita?
I don't remember exactly where.
Thank you. We are close to it, not there. Anyway, if you don't know, we can do some homework, okay? Unfortunately, I'm not like a computer who is just here. We are not engaged in pedagogy. In pedagogy, the professor comes in and downloads all of his stuff to the students. These days, they don't even teach. In most cases, they just come and tell you, go and read from this page to this page in this book, or something like that. But andragogy is a process of sharing and caring. Andragogy, you're dealing with adults, and you don't think that the adults are blank slates for you to just come and download your stuff on them. This is why Prabhupada emphasized the need for us to read his books. But we should not expect anyone to be like a pedagogist to come and download all of his stuff on us. Because some of us, we like this type of interactive learning. I like to ask, questions. Of course, some places you go, you ask the men, they don't know. You talk to the ladies, they give you the answer. And then the men say, oh, because they stay at home and we go to work, we work so hard, they stay at home to read the literatures. But how many hours do you work? You don't work 24 hours. If you give the reading a priority, you can also, this is an ashram. We are not another mandir where people come together on Sunday and then they clap their hands and have the feast and then they go and that's it. No. And Prabhupada emphasized for us to read his books. And reading the books is not different. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, it's not different from the worship of Lord Krishna on the altar. Because reading the Bhagavad Gita or reading the Bhagavatam, you are worshipping the Lord with your intellect. How many people here read every day? At least, if even it's just one line of the Vedic literature, any literature pertaining to the Vedas. I read at least one line every day. Raise up your hand. Right up. Let's see. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Today.
Huh?
I read today, but I forgot everything.
Okay. Yeah, see, the reading of the books is so important. Because by reading, this is part of our sadhana. It helps to purify our consciousness. It helps to boost our japa. You see, the day you read so intensely, your japa is completely different the next moment. If you're not reading, you get like dried up at some point in time, and your japa also could be failing. This is the whole secret. All of these things, they go together, coming to the temple, reading, doing seva. These are all part of the system, and if we undermine one, we could have some depletion or some stagnation in our devotional life. There should be constant companion with the Lord, either in the form of His holy names, the chanting, or in the form of service, or reading, or being with the devotees, sadhu sangha, like you're here. So this is important for us. And so, when Lord Chaitanya, when Lord Nityananda left Lakshmi Party, after traveling for a donkey's years, he came to Navadvip and he hid himself in the home of who? If you know, raise up your hand. If you're sure, you know. Okay, one person. Anyone else? Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, intended to meet with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came to hide in one devotee's home. Who is that? Yes. Advaita Acharya. Who supports that? I support this statement. Oh, you support, okay. At least somebody supported you, okay. Anyone who supports this statement, that when Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, he hid in the home of Advaita Acharya. Keep in mind, Advaita Acharya is not a resident of Navadvip. Advaita Acharya is a resident of Santipo. Do you still support him? But thank you, for suggesting that. Can someone help us? You want to help? You raise up your hand. Yes. What is it? Nandanacharya. That's correct. Thank you. But see, it is always very enriching when someone says something. So thank you. See, I'm sorry, but see, we like to be interactive, and so we ask. But it's not that we're not putting you on the spot. We like to interactive. Learning is more valuable, more impactful than just the traditional pedagogy. So he hid in the home of Nandanacharya, and immediately Lord Chaitanya roared. He told his devotees, "Go and bring Nityananda here. There's some great devotee is hiding somewhere in Navadvip. Go and bring him." He sent some devotees out to look for Nityananda, who was hiding. But they couldn't find him. They came back to Lord Chaitanya, told him, "We couldn't find your brother. He said he was there. We went searching for him. We couldn't find him. What to do?" But they did it. They went out. They executed the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here is the important factor. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not only acting as the associate of all of these his great devotees, he was also acting as the guru, as the spiritual master. The same way Krishna acted. Krishna will give sometimes instructions to his friends that are seemingly impractical to execute. I remember a case when they were in the groves playing, And Lord Krishna told Subal, go and bring Radharani here just now. It's like asking a chicken or a fowl to pass stool without urine. It doesn't work. Because the chicken or the fowl passes urine and stool at the same time. So you can ask the chicken or the fowl that pass stool but no urine. Doesn't work like that. But the instruction that, sometimes the Lord gives to his devotees are like the impossible. But the devotee executes it. He didn't sit back to complain. Why are you asking me to do this? This is impossible. And sometimes the Lord empowers the devotees to execute that instruction. Because every instruction from the Guru is encapsulated with empowerment anyway. We find the case of Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti-yoga gave him something like an impractical instruction. Someone in his old age was asked to come to the West, to print books in English, come to the West and preach. Spread the message of Godhead. So the devotees went out. They were not successful. But they executed the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to try to track down Lord Nityananda. And then Lord Chaitanya, he went out himself and he went straight to the home of Nandanacharya. And when he met with Lord Nityananda, they embraced and they went into the subconscious realm. They became unconscious. The devotees waited there for a long time. So, Lord Nityananda joined his brother, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then started out with the preaching. Our time is going, so I will just jump quickly to some later part of Lord Nityananda's pastimes. Lord Nityananda was an avaduta. Avaduta means somebody who has irregular behavior. You cannot assess the behavior of an avaduta. They're like paranormal. They're not normal. Because he would appear even before somebody naked. And Lord Chaitanya will intervene. Don't do this. So, moving forward very quickly. He also got married. And when he was to get married, one day he just woke up and then he told his personal assistant, let's go to Ambika Nagra. I want to go and ask for Genevieve for a companionship. Genevieve for companionship. And Genevieve, who is Genevieve's father? Yes. Any idea? Yes. Okay, think about it. So they went to Ambika Nagar, and then he asked, Nityananda asked his servant to go in and tell Genevieve's father that he is here, Lord Chaitanya is here, to ask for charity, to ask for marriage from his daughter. And then the father came out and said, see, I'm a Brahmin. I know you're the Lord himself. But you're an outcast. You're an outcast. You're an avaduta. These type of things, there's a process. We have to go through a process. You don't just come and say, I want to marry your daughter. So in this way, he dislodged Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda. So he went away. He went to the bank, of the river, sat under a banyan tree. But then, shortly after that, Genevieve fell unconscious. She was sick. They called some doctors to come, treat, give all types of treatment. And no, the doctor declared, prepare to take her to the bank of the river for incremation. And then the family members, they thought, he must have committed an offense. Nityananda came here to ask for your daughter for marriage, and you turned him down. Let's go beg him. Let's go beg him quickly. So they traced him to the place where he was sitting under a tree by the river and begged him. And what was Nityananda's response? He said, "You car-head boys, you have forgotten me, right?" So, they begged him for forgiveness. And Lord Nityananda said, "I'll do whatever you guys said." They said, "Come marry the girl you want to marry." So they persuaded him, and then he came back to Hadai. And immediately, Janava had Nityananda, he has this particular scent radiating from his body. And immediately that reached the nostril of Janava, she got up. she got up from the so-called death. So, anyway, marriage was arranged, and all of these are documented in the Ananda Vrindavan Champu's, Vrindavan Dastakur's writing, the Nityananda Charitamrita. So we have so many works, so many literature, so many literary expositions to digest, to dive into. Do something. Create some time for yourself for reading. When we joined, we were crazy after reading the books. So in a few years, finished Bhagavad Gita, finished Chaitanya, finished Bhagavatam, finished Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, we were crazy. So please, go into these literatures and bathe your intellect with the cosmogeneal philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.